What's going on? It's Zedmont. As you can see, I've got the Strategist achievement. All offense, no ice, and I now have every single achievement in the game. I suppose you could say I beat the game. I 100%ed the game, completed the game, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, I got 3 defenses last night, all with warriors. Guys just making terrible, terrible, terrible decisions. But I wanted to get into a couple simple things today. The first thing I wanted to talk about specifically is the trader. As you can see, I've got 2 hours and 9 minutes, and I had to throw in the Webster's Dictionary definition of trader, and that is a person whose business is buying or selling or barter, such as a ship engaged in the coastal or foreign trade. I know that is extremely, extremely exciting, but the bottom line is that there are going to be stuff for purchase, and what you need to be doing is you need to be stacking your map. And I realize that you could have resource reward statue, but that is ridiculous. I mean, resource reward statue, if you're a maxed player, is a terrible, terrible idea, and there's absolutely no need for it. As you can see, I've got tons of resources here. I've got tons of gold, and I haven't even begun to clear my extremely full map yet. So there's no need for it, but what you could do is if you're a little bit tight for resources, you could stack your map a little bit. But remember, an Imitation Game comes on Friday, and it has a ton of resources. Just be aware that Imitation Game only has 8 attacks now. They have nerfed it and taken away 2 of the attacks. So if you're a lower level player, you're going to have to try a little bit harder, potentially boost. And if you're a higher level player, you're actually going to have to drop troops. So Supercell snuck that one in there, didn't mention it anywhere except for on their forums. A little bit frustrating, but what I wanted to get into quickly is what you need to think about doing for the trader. I don't know how the trader deals work, but there has been some information released. This was released by Unique, who was in the Neon Task Force, I believe, from Reddit. Let me just double check that. Yes, sorry, Bluefire, Unique from Bluefire, I should say. My apologies. One of the things to be aware of, I don't have any idea how these deals work. I don't know if you get group 1 and then if you complete those, you get group 2. I have no idea, but I do know that, as you can see here, hopefully this is legible, that you can trade wood for trader tokens. You can trade green crystals for dark crystals. You can trade ice crystals for red crystals. You can trade gold for trader tokens. You can trade diamonds for trader tokens. So, and you can trade complex gears for critical fuses. So if you've got more of one item or more of one prototype part than the other, you can trade them. So what I am recommending, I'll leave that up, and I'll have a link to that in the description. This is only trade deals 1 to 8. There are actually 10 of them. I just couldn't fit them all on the screen. So I will throw a link to that in the description below. And again, thanks to Unique for mining that data. One of the things that you need to be aware of is the fact that you can trade 3 ice crystals for 3 purple crystals means if you're like me and you don't have a perfect gunboat energy masterpiece, you need to get 9 green crystals by Friday. So I've got a ton of shards. I'm going to be converting them, so I have 9 of them. And my only goal there is to trade 9 for 9. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not losing powder, so if they end up being terrible purple masterpieces, which they probably will, you're no further behind. So make sure you have 9 life crystals, 9 ice crystals, and realistically, I'm probably going to trade 9 of my red shards as well, because all of my, as you can see here, I've got a perfect troop damage masterpiece. I've got a perfect troop health masterpiece in storage, so I have no need for red crystals. So I'm going to stack up 9 red crystals, 9 green crystals, and 9 blue crystals, and I'm going to trade them all, hopefully for purples. I don't know. I don't think you can trade. Looks like I think you have to trade magmas for ice, so that might not work. But I mean, worst case, I have a look what the trader offers, and then you just make powder out of them. So I'm going to stack up 9 of each of those. I'm going to have 4 million iron. I'm going to have 4 million wood. I'm going to try to have 6 million gold. That shouldn't be a big deal. I'm gonna clear my map Friday morning and just trade for everything I possibly can. So I just wanted to make a quick video saying, hey, get ready for the trader. She's coming. There are a few. I mean, really, I'm a max player, so I have nothing to spend my resources on, so I'll be sitting around these numbers anyways. But the one thing I'm gonna have to push a little bit for is to get 6 million gold. Not a big deal with the operation boost. As you can see, I've already got brick up to. Let's complete that actually. I've got brick up to 10. I've got Everspark up to 3. I'm gonna let's upgrade her a little bit. So like the only real use I have for gold right now is Everspark. She's a little bit pricey. Brick is definitely not. So make sure that you're getting ready, thinking about in the back of your mind about the trader and what she's going to bring. There's a couple bugs out there that everyone should be aware of. It sounds like medics are like they haven't actually. Sorry, there's 3 things that I want to talk about. So number 1 is smoke. Smoke. They say that smoke has changed from 14 seconds to 13 seconds, and it's really, really annoying. I'll show you why. Let's go like this. I'm gonna drop my head. Let's get rid of these boom mines. I don't really want to lose any troops. I might, but just for this demonstration, I prefer not to. So let's get rid of all this stuff. One of the things that I have found extremely annoying that I couldn't figure out what was going on is this smoke timer. Not only is it a little bit faster, but if you watch, come on, here we go. I'm gonna shock right now, and then I'll retreat. But I'll show you them in the replay, but the smoke actually stays for the full 14 seconds, but defenses start to target your troops after 13 seconds. So it's really, really annoying. As someone, like for me, for example, I've always watched the actual smoke, but I'll try and pause it here. Come on. I hate doing this stuff live. It takes forever. So what I'm going to do is put it on half mode here. You'll notice the smoke timer has expired. These troops are now no longer under smoke. Look, they're firing on the machine gun and there's still smoke there. So it's really, really annoying. Do not watch the smoke, watch the timer. Because, look, I couldn't pause it in time, but that machine gun is already firing on my heavies and they're still under smoke. So I've already failed at least 1 operation attack because I've been late on my shocks because I'm watching the smoke. Don't watch the smoke, watch the timer. It's extremely annoying, but I don't know if it's going to be, if that's just how they're going to do it from now on, or if that's a bug, but they have reduced the smoke timers from 14 seconds to 13 seconds. Number 2 is, this is an undocumented change that is unconfirmed, but there are a ton of people saying that medics are only healing at 28 per second. And how they tested that was they threw a Scorcher out, they dropped an artillery on it, and then timed how long it took to heal. And it's taking long enough that they're saying medics have been nerfed. So if you're seeing that, please be aware that it's not a documented change. There's no mention of it. Supercell hasn't acknowledged it, but medics seem to be nerfed. They seem to be doing 28 heals per second as opposed to 32. So a little bit frustrating, but as long as you're aware, you should be able to compensate a little bit. And last but not least, what I wanted to show was the targeting issues. So if we look here, also I've already done a replay for this. Typically what would happen, and thanks to a couple of my subscribers actually mentioned this and I had no idea what they were talking about, but right now the rocket launchers are locking on to my heavies. That's expected. So they're going to shoot at my heavies, totally expected, not a problem whatsoever. But what should happen now is I've got these critters on the shock launcher and these critters back here on whatever the heck this thing's called are closer than my heavies, but yet the rocket launchers keep shooting my heavies. Like there's no reason whatsoever for the rocket launchers to be shooting them, but they still are. So something to be aware of. Rocket launchers are now, and snipers, all defenses are now acting like lasers. They lock on to one specific troop and keep hitting it even if something else gets closer. So if you're using heavy Zuka or Hookah, whatever you want to call it, or whatever troop combo you're using, you need to be very careful with which troops appear first. You can use it to your advantage. You can actually walk your your Zookas actually closer to rocket launchers and they won't be targeted. Like you can actually, here, let's see if I can actually do this. Let's see here. I'm going to do something stupid here just for kicks. Let's go like this. I have not thought this all the way through, so hopefully it goes as well as it does as it is in my head. Actually, let's see if we can get rid of these two. Probably going to lose a couple troops here. Oh man, I can't believe I just missed an artillery. So I'll try that again. One more time for the lulls. I am going to quickly show you. Let's go like this. I want to get rid of those. Let's get rid of those, get rid of those, get rid of those. Let's go like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my heavies right here. And then I'm going to drop I'm going to shock them actually. Let's shock you right there. And as long as my, actually let's shock you right there. I could actually walk, actually I can't even do it. But you'll notice that nothing targeted my Zookas. What I wanted to do was walk my Zookas into here, but I couldn't get them past the heavies in the first place. So you can actually use it to your advantage. I totally blew that. But basically just make sure your heavies pop out of smoke first, and by doing that, you can exploit the bug a little bit. I mean, really, it's not something that is easily done, but as long as you're aware that they're going to lock on, just don't get your Zookas out first, because your Zookas will get melted. Your rifles will get melted. Make sure that you have either critters out first or heavies out first. So that's it. That's all. One more time, I'll show you the trader screen again. Like Frankie McDonald would say, save your crystals, save your crystals, save your crystals. Get your wood saved, get your iron saved. This is something that can be used very, very well. I think that you will enjoy it. I think that it will help. And I think that it will, that way you're not surprised. I mean, the last thing you want to do is go scrambling for resources on Friday morning. And by having your resources available, beat imitation game, clear your map, and get rewarded. I mean, my sculptor is always working, but as you can see, I only have 4 ice and four life and two ice crystals. So I need to get those up to 9. I'm always burning them, but now I'm gonna actually keep a couple of these, and so that I'm ready to trade. So I hope that you too will take full advantage of Madame Gearhart, or the trader, or whatever you want to call her. But actually, it's funny, look at her belt. It's actually, I never actually noticed that before. If you look at her belt, it's actually Gearhart's belt as well. I know that people have said that Gearhart is the trader is probably Gearhart, but I've never noticed the fact that her belt is actually the exact same belt before. Actually, a little bit different. It's silver instead of brass, but same belt, same gear. Obviously, yeah, it's all the same. I mean, and people are saying that Everspark is Gearhart's daughter. I never actually read the thread on Reddit, but that could make sense. A little bit more mystique into our friend Gearhart. But yeah, that's all I got. Try to be quick today. Save your crystals, save your wood, save your gold, and don't place resource reward. There's no need. I mean, obviously 200,000 gold is a little bit on the low side for me, but all of these NPCs will get me back up to over $1 million or 2 right away. So just my 2 cents. I hope that works out for you. I mean, there's a lot of frustration out there in the community, but I think that it's going to get better. I think that there will be some balancing coming soon. I just need them. We just need them to acknowledge these things and make them easy to find. That's my primary concern. Just let us find these things. I mean, it's so difficult when there's bugs that we have no idea what's a bug and what's a feature. So anyways, that's all I got.